Hi, this is Sue Jackson of the Book by Book blog, and I'm here today with the end of the year book tag. Although I have to admit, I don't like thinking that the end of the year is almost here. This year has just gone by too fast. This is an original tag created by Ariel Bissett. I'll include the link down below if you want to go and see the original video. I saw the end of the year book tag on the Ms. Reads a Lot channel, hosted by Sandy, and on Gloria Z. Thompson's channel. So I saw it in those two places and thought that it sounded like a good one to do. So this one seems pretty simple and straightforward. It's about the reading that I want to do from now through the end of the year. So question 1, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? No, because I don't read that way. I'm pretty much a monogamous reader. I read one book at a time and I finish it and then I move on to the next. With one caveat, I've always got one book in print and one book on audio going at a time. But I pretty much continue reading a book until I finish it. So, question 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? So I do a big 2-month-long autumn transition, and that is the RIP challenge, Readers Imbibing Peril. I do this challenge every fall. It's hosted by a book blog. The idea is super simple, just to read darker stuff in fall. So that's what I do. And it runs September and October. So since the beginning of September, I've been reading mysteries, thrillers, ghost stories, suspense novels, all kinds of creepy stuff. So right now, for the end of October, I am just about finished with High Country by Nevada Barr. She's a wonderful thriller writer who sets her thrillers in national parks. And the main character is a national park ranger named Anna Pigeon. I love this series. I hadn't read one in ages, and I have so enjoyed this. So I've just got a little bit left. I'll be finishing it today. And then, next up for the end of October is Furnace for Your Foe, book 4 in the Anne Kinnear series by Maddie Dalrymple. Unusual, I don't read a lot of series, but I love this one. And finally, I hope I have time at the end of October to squeeze in one more spooky book, because I've been holding The Hotel Neversink for that week right around Halloween. So I'm hoping to fit this one in too. Beyond October, I also like to read seasonally in November, and I'm excited about Nonfiction November. I don't know exactly what I'm going to be reading, but I did pull a stack of nonfiction books off my shelf, and I think I have plenty of choices. Those are the nonfiction books currently waiting on my shelf to be read. I'm probably going to start November with Walden. Really want to get to that. I've got 2 Eric Larsons on here, but my husband says The Splendid and the Vile is the best of all of Larson's books. So I'll probably try to get to that one. And a few more on that stack. So that's November too. So question 3, is there a new release you're still waiting for? I don't read a lot of new releases. The exception is sometimes I listen to a new release on audio because I get audios to review from a couple of the publishers. So sometimes I am up to date on audio, but generally I really don't buy myself books. But then again, Christmas is coming, so there might be some new releases in my stack under the tree. I did notice a couple of my favorite authors have books coming out through the end of the year. We'll definitely be looking for those. I just downloaded Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver on audio, and I can't wait to listen to that. It was just released this week. I love Barbara Kingsolver. She is one of my all-time favorites. Just quickly, I also noticed new releases coming up from Louise Penny. Always enjoy her books. Matthew Quick, he is an amazing writer with an incredible sense of humor. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he's come up with this time. And Jodi Picoult and Jennifer Finney Boland have co-written a novel. I love both of those authors, so I'm really looking forward to that one too. So there are a few on my radar. I don't know that I'll get to them before the end of the year, but I'm thinking about them. Question 4, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Well, as I was explaining, I read seasonally in September and October. Also, all through the summer, I was reading for my own challenge that I host, the Big Book Summer Challenge. So I've been reading seasonally. Nonfiction November's coming up. But then December and on into January are kind of, there's really no theme or season for me or challenges that I join. Those are just kind of read whatever you want and clear off some of those stacks of books on my TBR bookcase. I have a whole bookcase that now has double rows on 2 shelves of books I want to read. So 3 of the books I am most looking forward to reading, top of my list is Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. I loved Station 11. I loved The Glass Hotel. I understand that some of the characters from The Glass Hotel are in this novel, and it's a time travel novel, which is my favorite kind of thing to read about. So I can't wait to read this. I got it for my birthday, and it is top of my list. This one I picked up in an independent bookstore when we were on a trip. I do buy books for myself if we're traveling and visiting an indie bookstore. This is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and a book I've been wanting to read for ages, so looking forward to that one to add to my classics challenge for this year. And When She Woke by Hilary Jordan. This has been on my shelf for way too long, probably like 10 years, minimum. Hilary Jordan is the author of Mudbound, which I loved. This is a total departure from that. Mudbound was historical fiction. This is dystopian, but I really want to read it. It was in my stack for the RIP challenge for fall, and I just didn't get to it. So I'd like to read it by the end of the year. Finally move it off my TBR bookcase. Question 5, is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Well, my current favorite so far, first it was This Tenderland by William Kent Kruger, which is now in the number 2 spot, because Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir that I read this summer blew me away. Those 2 are my top books for the year so far. Also Kindred by Olivia Butler. I think that Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel certainly has the potential to be my favorite of the year because it's got all the elements that I enjoy, and I know I like her writing. But that really wouldn't be a shock to me. And finally, question 6, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? No. I really haven't. I don't think I had all that much about reading. It depends on, like I said, I've got plenty to choose from. So it depends on what I'm in the mood for. I do sometimes do seasonal challenges, but there really aren't any challenges that I do in December and January. That's more just, read what's on my shelf. This past February, I read a lot of novels by Black authors or about Black characters for Black History Month. I might do that again this year. And then once we get into March, it's the run-up to Booktopia, an event I go to in Vermont every May. And those are all usually new releases, usually not like the things everybody's talking about, but some really like hidden gems that the booksellers recommend. So I know in the spring I'll be reading whatever the Booktopia Northshire bookstore booksellers have chosen. And that's about it. If you'd like to do this tag, join the fun. And let me know what your reading plans are for the end of the year. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what you're planning to read for the rest of the year.